Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. We're going to do 2 times an update for the Browns and Sister Wives because we've got 2 times the fun. And it all comes down to the Browns getting taken care of medically and taking care of some issues going on with them. So let's start out with Christine. Christine Brown has been all over the place on Facebook raising money, shilling Live, shilling LLR, selling cameos, working like mad to raise money for Isabel. Now, she had claimed at one point that she needed to come up with $50,000 for a procedure for Isabel, although she had not actually named Isabel's name. Well, actually, she has now because Christine spilled the beans. Now, Christine likes to spill the beans on Facebook Live when she does like her cooking or she does her non-sales events. Sometimes she goes walking and does exercise. Sometimes she does her book club. And this morning or yesterday, she was making German pancakes and battered cod. And she was giving people the recipe on how to make the pancakes and giving people the recipe for how to make the fried fish. During this specific live, she starts talking about how we're in this situation in the current status of the world where it's time for people to have to bravely face what's going on around them and that their lives have to start to move forward. And we have to move on, she said. Obviously, she said that this meant that she needed to press forward and make the decision for Isabel. And she says that Isabel now is going to be having her procedure. And apparently she has been needing this procedure for quite some time. She even mentioned that Kody and her had this conversation about how we're at this point now where we just have to do it. We have to keep moving. She insisted in her live video that they were going to be doing everything safely. They were going, and I laughed because she said she's going to be wearing goggles. But watch this clip of what she had to say about her take on this procedure.
Whoa, I don't like the new normal. You know what, Amy? I know. The new normal is hard, but the new normal is worth it. Our new normal, this is our new, I was just talking to Kody about it the other night. It's like, look, we have to move on with our lives. We just can't stay cooped up. So, like Isabel's surgery, I don't know how much I can talk about it, but we're getting her surgery. So can I say that? Well, I did. So there you go. And we have to move forward, even though it's cold. We're going to take all the precautions we can, though. We're going to be smart. We've had 5 months of this now, so we know how to do this. We know how to do. We're going to mask. We're going to wear eye goggles too. We're fully going to do it all to stay and not get and stay safe. But we have to move on. We have to move on. We have to improve our lives. We can't just be not. Yeah, so we had friends over the other night. We all stay social distance. All of us were social distance and totally smart. And we didn't cross the line. I mean, so anyway.
So she says, this is why I laughed, you guys. She said she's going to wear goggles and a mask. So that's super cute, though, because there's parts of Christine that I love, and then there's other parts where she's shilling like her Live and her MLMs where I'm just like, ah! But you can't always dislike someone. Like, I think she's a good mom and she does her best, ultimately. Now, it's interesting that she would actually bring up Kody and how Kody and her needed to have this talk about moving forward because in a Facebook group, apparently someone was dishing about Kody. Now, there's this Facebook group called like Sister Wives Discussions where people talk about the show, and it at one point was started by Robin's family. Well, I guess there's people in this specific group that actually are connected to the AUB, and they come in and they answer questions from time to time. Well, one of the guys that is in the group who is an admin, he answered some questions about Kody. And people were wondering like how they actually have all of this stuff and whether or not Kody has a job. And when someone asked him whether or not if it was just Mary, Janelle, and Christine that were working, he actually said no. And he said that Kody has a job, but he just has always chosen to keep it off the show because his partners don't want to be public and they don't want it to have a public front. And so because his partners want to be private and they don't want the publicity from the show and they don't want the scrutiny from the show, they keep Kody's business offline. That makes sense, but it still doesn't make me feel like whatever he's up to is making a ton of money, because Christine wouldn't be working as hard as she does. Now, the guy also insisted that all men in this community have a due diligence to work, and many are work very hard for their families. They also said that it's not uncommon for the families in this world to have kids that are close, apparently. So that's the tea from the inside scoop. Anyways, so Christine is moving forward with Isabel. She legit spilled the beans, even though she was not supposed to. And Isabel is finally going to get the procedure to fix her back, which I'm hoping will allow her to feel some relief. I know that she can't be feeling very good, and Kody has really been so against this procedure for such a long time, making her do all kinds of different things like exercises and therapies when you can't really stop the movement of the spine, sadly. So thankfully, Isabel will be getting what she needs. Now we just know that it's because their family doesn't always have the best insurance, and Kody is apparently cheap. Moving on. All right, so on to the next, Maddie. So we know that Maddie had a baby girl, and her baby girl was born with some limb abnormalities. And part of the disorder that she has meant that some of her bones in her legs and her hands were not formed correctly. And she has undergone the first step in a process to help her gain mobility. Now, Maddie updated everyone on her Instagram post, and she let people know how Evie was doing. In her post, Maddie said, Evie received some major gifts for her first birthday. Her surgeon laid the groundwork for her new foot and mobility it will bring by way of a Boyd amputation. Another gave her some extra mobility in her hand by clipping her webbing that she had in her right hand. She is home and recovering beautifully. Now, obviously, she has her legs had different, one of the legs, the tibias bowed out, and the other one, it was shorter, I believe. So I had to look up what this specific procedure was, and it's apparently a procedure which keeps the heel of the foot there instead of taking the entire foot from the ankle down. It maintains the heel so that the person, when they walk, still maintains the pressure point of the heel so that they can feel it when they provide the prosthetic foot. So they have basically taken the foot from the base of the heel on forward. So this is good news. Obviously, she can get a prosthetic foot, which will help her walk and have some mobility. And if you remember, when she was born, she had some webbing in her fingers, which meant that the fingers were sort of like, she has two fingers on this side, and they were connected. And so they've again clipped it so that she'll have the ability to move her fingers back and forth, which is amazing. I am always amazed at what they can do to help kids that are born with specific physical disabilities, and all the work that orthopedic surgeons can do, along with there's muscle doctors too, but these doctors are truly amazing what they can do to help these kids. And mobility is such a huge part of independence and ability, and so I'm really excited for her. I've also been pretty impressed with her being so open about everything and being so open about how she's been using all of she can with her medical team. It's awesome to see this from someone that comes from the fundy world, because sometimes these people can be apprehensive of medicine. So it's awesome to see that she has really embraced this, and she's doing everything she can to help Evie. Evie is a doll. She is such a cute baby. You cannot say much about the babies that are in this family. I mean, honestly, the kids, they're so cute. It's like the Duggar kids. They're adorable. There's gonna start to be competitions for who the cutest kid is. It's Joyanna just had her baby today. So Maddie has two. Those are actually the only grandchildren that they have right now. And Michaeletti, she said she's not preventing anything. Aspen has not had any children yet. Peyton, Hunter, nothing's going on there. And Logan also has not had a child, nor has Mariah. So for now, it is Maddie, and Maddie is sharing everything for Evie. So I say, go Evie and recover. And I hope you guys Let me know if you have any experience with this. Let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think about them moving forward with the procedure? Now, I got some messages from you guys going like, I can't believe that they would have this surgery for Isabel. But honestly, I don't think you should be really criticizing things at this point because necessary procedures are starting to happen, especially if it can improve somebody's quality of life. There was a halt where a lot of places were not doing any procedures, but a lot of places are opening up because we can't stop people from improving and getting medical help because of what's going on around them. And as long as they do remain safe, they should be okay. All right, you guys, so tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye.